Hey, Restream fam. This is Bradley of Bradley Teaches. Welcome to the Bradley Teaches Video Graphics for Restream Studio weekly live show. So welcome to this event today. Let me know that you're here. Jump on in the chat so I can see you guys. And we're going to get started momentarily here. Make sure that I'm live in all the locations around the interweb right now. I should be in the Restream Facebook group right now, on the Restream YouTube channel, on my YouTube channel, Bradley Teaches, on my Facebook group, Video Graphics for Live Streaming, and some other places around the interwebs. Okay. So let me know that you're here. We're going to officially get started in 1 minute or so. And I just have my little graphic up here because Facebook makes these weird thumbnails now that you can't change. So I decided to hack the system and put my own thumbnail up so I don't get that goofy half my mouth open thing that they always put on there. All right, but we are good to go now. Let me turn this thing off, hide that, and show you my face now. But yes, this is Bradley of Bradley Teaches. And today we're back in Restream Studio doing more graphics. And I'm able to launch today. I'm going to let you know now. I'm able to launch today my Restream overlays. So I may even spend a little time in Canva today looking at those and show you how they work. And I'll maybe even post the link to them to give you guys access to them, things like that. So if you're here in the house, let me know that you're here. Let me know where you're coming in from. And just say hi, right? So this week, there were not any form submissions. I did get some DMs about different stuff, but there weren't any form submissions of official questions to be answered today. So it's kind of a freelance day, right? I want to do what you guys want to learn about, want to talk about, questions that you have as far as graphics or overlays or lower thirds or sidebars or whatever you're working on. What's up, James? Good to see you. Hey, good afternoon to you. Good afternoon, good evening, good night, depending on where you are. Good to see you. This is Dawn. Welcome. Let me make this screen bigger so I can read these names. There we go. Now I can see. Good to see y'all. Welcome to the session today. Yeah, so today is a real freelance kind of day. So you all can get some private coaching right now on your graphics because you are first in the queue because there were not any questions in the form this week. So if you have graphics questions, if you have something you're working on related to graphics, an overlay you're trying to create, a lower third you're trying to create, let me know about it. Hey, Marlene, good to see you. Y'all are coming on in here. Let me see who I got right here. Shatara, good to see you. Hey. All right, y'all. Y'all coming in the house. Got my regulars coming back. I'm feeling good to see y'all. So like I said, thank y'all first for being here today and supporting these live shows or live events, whatever you want to call them, live broadcasts. And I'm here today to help you all, like I'm here every week to help you all at 4:30 Central on Thursdays, right? Same bat time, same bat channel. So as I was saying when I first opened up, I created overlays that work with Restream, everything from a single window to all the 4 window layouts. And I may show you those today in Canva if you want to see those. But I also want to answer your graphic questions. So if you have anything that you have going on right now as far as graphics or things you're trying to create for Restream Studio, let me know. Let's workshop those things out. Let's have some fun. So I'm ready to rock and roll, guys. If y'all are ready to rock and roll, I'm ready to rock and roll. So let's make some video graphics for Restream. As I said, I use Canva typically when I'm showing people how to use Restream because I know we have some Mac people, some PC people, and Canva works for both. I typically do most of my animations and graphics in Keynote because it does both of those very well. But Canva does static graphics very well. As long as you work through your workflow and add the other third-party apps that you need for cutting out the shapes and things like that. So let me know if it's something you guys want to see. and we'll start creating. I know we got to get a little time for everybody to get here and get locked in and ready to roll. But thank you all for being here. And so let's do this. So if there's any kind of graphics that you guys are dealing with right now, any kind of graphics that you were trying to work on as far as your streams, if you want to send me a link to your stream that you're working on right now, I'll check that out, do a little quick review of that. So it is wide open today, y'all. It is kind of a freelance Thursday, and let me know what you want to see. We can create those things. Now, I'm going to go ahead and jump into Canva real quick and show you some layouts that I did in Canva and show you some easy ways that you guys can edit these layouts if you choose to want to use these, right? So let me turn off this extra overlay here just so we can have some more space. And let's jump into Canva. So here we are in Canva, and what I did is I created overlays for all the window spaces from a single window all the way up to 4 windows. This is just kind of some of the designs I did. Ignore the colors. I just color coded them to symbolize the windows, right? So this is all the 4 window layout, all the 3 window layout. All of these work guaranteed in Restream if you work them through the process and through the workflow. They all fit the window layouts that are standard in Restream. Okay, so let's just use this 3 window layout right here now, and I'm going to show you how to edit this really easily and use it for how you want to, right? So, because I know the past couple of weeks I was telling people or telling you all that I was working on some window layouts to use in Canva, and people were interested. I was getting a lot of DMs about it. So I finally finished all the layouts. It's 17 of them from a single window all the way up to 4 windows. And I want to show you guys how to edit them. Now, the actual template that I'm going to give you guys access to, show you where you can go to purchase it. Well, you know what? I might even do a kind of a pay what you want. We'll see. We'll see. So, but I'm going to show you guys how to edit those. Let's see what Marlene is saying. Cool. Not sure how this relates, if it's a question I can answer for you, but appreciate that. Yeah. Please do think about your streams a little bit and kind of work out, your workflow as far as your scenes and things like that. And let me know some things you're trying to work on, right? So while we're thinking about that, let's jump in over here. This is a 3 window layout that I did. I'm going to show you how to edit this. And even if you're kind of watching this, you can kind of figure out how to make these yourself if you want to, right? You don't have to purchase these to do this. I want to show you how I made them so they work, right? So there's a couple of different ways that you can edit these, but I want to show you something first. I made these windows here. I locked them so I wouldn't accidentally move them, right? Because these are where those windows are placed in Restream, and you want to lock them in so you don't accidentally delete them or something, right? So what you want to do, I'm going to show you a couple of different ways to edit these overlays. So first, we can do a picture. So we can add a picture here and scale that photograph up until it fills up the whole slide, and then just position it to the back, right? Now you have an overlay ready. You can also go in here to adjust it and change the blur of it to make it more of a texture, right? Now, as part of the workflow, I also will show you how to delete out the rectangles in Photo P to actually make the openings, right? Now, the reason I made them gray, because we want to have a dark space there that's easy to select and delete in Photo P. You might even want to make yours black. You may want to make them orange or red or whatever else. Now, I would suggest not going with bright colors if possible, because no matter when you select it with the magic wand tool, you're going to get some remnant of the old color still left behind. And you don't want like little orange and green pixels floating around into your overlay, right? So you want to go with a dark color for those. But that's one way to edit it. Add a picture, scale it up, then you can blur it or whatever else. Easy way to overlay, right? Another way you can edit these, I'm gonna type in paint swatch because I just like using those in a general sense. So paint, yeah. Right, so I'm gonna use the paint swatches here. And what I can do now is blow up the paint swatch and change the color of it. Just make that green. And let's make the background a different color because that's kind of loud. Make it pale like that. Okay, push the paint swatch to the back. Right, add a second paint swatch. So these are just different ways that you can fix the layout to make it your own, right? Do something like this. Position that to the back. And now you have a whole nother layout, a whole nother design, simple design, things like that to work on, right? Yes. Let me see. Let me say hi to some people. Tochi, awesome. Thank you for coming. Hey, how's it doing? How's it going, David? From Oakland, California. I'm guessing Oakland, California. That's the only Oakland I know. All right. Photo P. It's actually Photo PEA, Photo P. It's an application that's on the web that is like Photoshop, but it's free. It's web-based. And we'll jump into that too. And I'm going to show you how to use that because it's a great tool that you can add into your Canva workflow to get these transparent areas of your overlays, right? Because one of the things, and I don't call it a weakness of Canva, right? Because I don't really see any web-based software that's in that Canva realm, like Easel and other applications like that, that can actually subtract a shape from a shape. Now, I can do that all day long in Keynote, but I wanted to show people how to do this in Canva. So you have to add another application to your workflow, and I use Photo P for that. So I can use the free version of Canva, make the graphics I'm showing you here, open them up in the free version of Photo P, subtract out these rectangles for a 3-window layout like you see here, and then save it as a PNG and use it in Restream. So I will add that part to the process and show you guys how to do that. Yes, Cindy, I think this video can help you set up your overlays too. So come on over. All right, so this is a second way to do the layout. Really quick and easy what I'm showing you here. There's nothing really complicated, but I just want to show you the different things you can do with this rabbit hole of Canva and all the elements you can use, right? I mean, you can use all kinds of stuff to create different designs. Just add different colors, stuff like that, right? So, and then the last way, well, not even the last way, right? But you can do, so say here, you want a gradient instead. I don't want a solid color. I want to use a gradient color, right? So I'll pick a rectangle here and make it the size of the screen. Position it to the back, right? And now I can just go here and change the colors. And I have a gradient background. So all these things are optional and ways that you can edit your overlays, right? Really easy. Now, the final way, we delete this, is basically just to go to background, right? So when you pick one of these, they automatically jump all the way to the background. So got some strawberries here. What's that? Oh, pecans or pecans, depending on where you are in the World Wide Web. Then we even have different textures. And so once you have your windows locked in, making that background is easy, extremely easy, right? So that's why I made all of these that way. Even this one, right, where you have the 2 windows with the larger window. So I made this schematic where now I can pick a background and it goes around all the windows, right? So I took the time to go in and kind of build these and kind of make them like that. If you don't like the windows the way they are, the only thing I suggest you do is to make the window space smaller. Don't make the window space any bigger because then you have a gutter or whatever around your space and it doesn't work, right? So that's how you can do that. And I'm going to go here. Let's explore this Photo P thing, right? So what I'm going to do is, this is slide number 10. let's download this. So I'm gonna go here and I'm gonna do slide number 10 and done. And we can export this as a JPEG file. It doesn't have to be a PNG because there's no transparent spaces in it right now, right? Because the way that, like I said before, the way that Canva and other web-based apps work, you can't subtract a shape from a shape natively. So with that in mind, go ahead and design it knowing that you're going to cut these shapes out later. Now, all this can be done in the free version of Canva because these windows are precision placed. I have them all locked in perfectly where they need to go. So I know when I cut these shapes out, it's going to work with the 3-window layout. So let me download this JPEG. So now I'm still doing all free stuff, right? These are all free things I'm doing. And that's fine. Oh, let's cancel that. Let's call this over 2. Let's do that. Okay, let's save that now. All right, so what I'm going to do now is let me pop back to me for a hot second, and I'm going to open up another browser here, and I am going to open up Photopea. So let's go back here. And Photopea is Photopea. Why is that so big? Oh, there we go. Okay. And this is photopea.com, Photopea.com. And as you see here, the free version has ads. I'm not going to try to cover up the ads and do all that kind of stuff because we're using the free version. You can pay to have the ads removed, but it doesn't add any extra features by paying for it, right? But it's a way to definitely support the person that created the program. So let me go here to my desktop, and I'm going to open up the JPEG we just made and drag it onto Photopea. So here's the overlay we just made. And now all I'm going to do is go here to the 4th tool from the top, which is the magic wand, and click on, let's click the tool first, magic wand. Then click on the 3 rectangles. And now we have a legitimate overlay, right? We have the background that we created in Canva, whatever design you want, whatever picture you want, using elements, using a gradient, using a photo, using a background. And I bring it into Photopea now, and I just select the rectangles and delete, and the checkerboard lets you know that it's transparent. So now all I have to do is go to File, Save or Export as PNG, and I'm going to save that. And now it's in my Downloads folder. So now we're going to go back into Restream to the graphics, the overlay area, go to New, and here we are. Now this is a 3-window version and I'm in a single window, but there we are. And it is that easy, right? Once you create the overlay with the windows in the proper place in Canva and then work it through the process, you can easily do this. Now, I guess I could invite myself 2 more times. Let's just do that. Let me invite myself 2 more times, and so I can show you what that really looks like. So let me go here, open up a new window. So hopefully I won't blow up the internet and really mess myself up, right? So let's go here to a new one again, paste that. All right, so the first one, second one, okay. So now I'm gonna add this video. So there's the 3 windows, and that black space you see here is not a gap. That's actually my part of my backdrop. So here we are. And so we know now for a fact that these windows work and they fit and they are perfectly matched to that design for a 3-window overlay, right? So I took the time to do all these different designs and do these things. So we know that they work, right? So let me know what you guys think. Let me know if you have any questions kind of related to this. And I would love to see what kind of questions y'all have. Let me see. Appreciate that. Glad y'all like it. And as you see here, see, that's the thing. That's some of the stuff that you have to watch out for because of these different designs. And I'm glad that actually happened to me. With the different designs, Restream and some other apps like Restream that are web-based, they will change the layout if you use their default look when your window layout, right? So I'm using the default look and I made an overlay that goes with it, right? But when I show a lower third, it changes the layout. So you have to anticipate those things when you're doing that, right? Because the lower third will show up in a certain spot and could potentially break your overlay. I'm actually glad that happened. So you guys can see that when you're using these overlays, you have to know some of the idiosyncrasies, I guess is the word for it, that these some of these apps have that will adjust the layout for you. Because I would love, as a certain thing, that the layout does not change and that the overlay is really just a text overlay and sit on top of your content and doesn't move it around. Yeah, I mean, it actually works. And right now, you know, I'm kind of doing 3 levels of my internet right now, and I have some other browsers open. So you definitely don't want to invite yourself when you're doing this. But yeah, you can have 2 other guests and have a layout like this, and it works pretty good. So let me turn these off because I really don't want to use up all my bandwidth just messing around with these 3 windows. Let me leave. All right, and I'm gonna go back here and turn that graphic off. Yeah, but that's a simple 3-window overlay, right? That definitely works in that format. Let's see. Yeah, one of the windows, let me do this. Yeah, one of the windows can be your computer screen, and you can do that as one of the layouts. Because if I did a screen share, I might get the moire pattern. Let me see. Screen share. So I'm doing a screen share now, right? So this is a single window layout with the screen share. And this is a split screen with the screen share, right? And it's going to actually crop both of us to the middle of the screen. And so, yeah, this is a screen share of the monitor on the other side with me. And so the other layouts still work with the screen share. Now, it depends on how many windows you have, right? It's going to treat that screen share kind of like a camera. And so even with this, right? And I can do it this way, or I could even flip them, right? And so you can use your screen share like it's another camera, so to speak, right? So I could turn it on and off. Yeah, but that can definitely be done. All right, let's see. Cool, cool, cool. Yeah, do not use up that bandwidth. I don't want to. I don't want to break my stream today. So yeah, I turned all those extra ones off that I don't need. Let's see what he's saying here. How exactly do I position the video in 2-part overlay, PowerPoint and Ecamm? Yeah, so in Ecamm, because that's what I'm using right now as my virtual camera into this system, right? So in Ecamm, you can share your PowerPoint screen, right? And then you can add another camera of yourself as a picture-in-picture. And actually, that's what this kind of look is. And so instead of sharing my screen here, this could be a PowerPoint full screen. Because when I do my Ecamm, when I do my Keynote tutorials, Keynote is on the screen, right? And I can even play a full screen live Keynote presentation and add myself as a picture-in-picture. So those things are easy. It's basically a screen share. And then you just add yourself as another camera, picture-in-picture. Now, if you're using something like NDI or something like that, then your PowerPoint or whatever else is a camera at that point, not a screen share window. So there is a difference. But I prefer to use it as a screen share window versus a camera input. But that's how I would do it. And I hope that helps. Let's see. Got another question. How do I add a moving ticker at the bottom of the screen in Restream? Okay, Restream does not have a moving ticker built in. So let me go back to full screen answer. Okay, so Restream does not have a ticker built in, right? That actually moves across the screen. Other apps, like right now I'm using Ecamm as my virtual camera, and I'm using some of the strengths of Ecamm along with the strengths of Restream. Restream's one of their biggest strengths is the ability to stream across multiple platforms seamlessly. One of the strengths of Ecamm is some of its overlay options and things like that. And a ticker text is one of their options. Now, if you're on a Mac, you can use Ecamm. If you're not on a Mac, Ecamm is not available to you. It's Mac only. So yeah, so you can definitely use a ticker in Ecamm, and it's basically a text overlay, and you do it as a ticker. You can pick ticker as an option. So that's a little bit of a different app than what I'm showcasing today. Yeah, but let me see if I can show you that real quick. Let me go back into the Ecamm interface that I'm using, and let's add a text overlay. I'll do it really quick here. And in Ecamm, you can actually say if you want the text to be, fixed, or if you want it to be scrolling. I'm going to add this to the screen here. And here is the ticker tape, right? Ticker tape text. And I can speed it up. I can slow it down, right? So that's one of the things that you can do in Ecamm, then bring it into Restream as a virtual camera, right? So that's one of the things you can do, but that's more of an Ecamm feature than a Restream feature. But it can be done. But in Ecamm, you add it as a text overlay, which is the T in your overlay window, and then just pick scrolling versus fixed as far as how you want to add the text. All right, y'all, let's see. Okay, so let's go back again, and we can kind of show these overlays. Now, if you all are interested in the overlays, let me show you this. And what I'm going to do is, I can't really jump online and do that right now, but if you go here, you'll see the overlays there for Restream, and they're labeled Restream overlays, and you'll be able to see those there. And they're all available from 1 window up to 4 windows, all the standard Restream layouts. And it has an instructional video to go with it that takes you a little bit deeper than what I just showed you. But that was really what the tutorial video does too. I just did it a little bit quicker than the tutorial does. That shows you how to edit those. All right, so let's see. So hopefully that answers your questions, y'all. Let's see. All right, so let me know what you guys want to see next. I also have, let's see, let me go over here into my Canva, and let me look for it before I show it to y'all. Because I also have, yeah, let's do this one. Let me make a copy of that. Okay, so let's do this. Let's make some lower thirds, or look at lower thirds, right? And essentially, lower thirds are basically anything that's in the lower third of the screen. It doesn't really matter what kind of graphic that is. The lower third is really talking about the placement of the graphic, not what the graphic is, right? So with that, I want to show you guys some different lower third stuff. And I think I might have talked about this last week or the week before. I also did a lot of lower thirds, but I want to show y'all how to make these, right? I'm not trying to sell you nothing. I want to show you how to make these. And so it's really easy to make some cool lower thirds in Canva that work really well in your design if you kind of look for some of the tools that you can use to create them. Now, as I've been telling y'all the past few weeks, that you have to think about when you're doing things with Canva, think about things like Lego blocks, right? How am I going to put the pieces together of these basic shapes to create a nice design, right? And so just basic text is fine. Here's something you can do. So let me copy this and just move it up on the page, right? So say you just have basic text, right? And that's a little thing I stuck on the side. You don't have to use that. But basic text, then just use boxes, right? To surround the text. Let me move that down. Let's do it this way. Right, position that to the back. There we go. It's acting up a little bit. Oh, that's already in the back apparently. So let's make that white so we can see it. There we go. It was already in the back. Okay. So you can do different things like this. Just do boxes around the text. Now, if you're using the free version, here's where the free version and the paid version separate themselves from each other, because the paid version will allow me to export as PNGs with transparent backgrounds, right? So I can just natively export as a PNG, and all the spacing around these words, like inside the O, inside the B and the R, all that will be transparent. For the free version, that's not possible. So if I export this as a JPEG file, then open it up in Photo P, yes, I can select all the dark gray or whatever color I use and delete out the spaces in between the letters. That could be tedious. It can look bad, and you could have some real mess in this one, right? Because it's a small word, small letters. So I wouldn't do that if I had the free version. Now, if you're going to be making a lot of lower thirds or a lot of call to action lower thirds, be doing things like that, it might be worth the pro version just for that, because you can export as a PNG file and you have a lot more freedom to do just raw text in your layouts for your logo bugs and things like that and not have a conflict. But if you're using the free version, you could definitely do something like this design I'm showing you now, right? So you can do this kind of design, and then let me copy that box. So I could do something like this, position that backward. And we'll make that black and make the box white. Right? So you can do this kind of design easily in the free version, export as a JPEG, then bring it into Photo P, then magic wand this area, and you still have boxes around your text where you don't have to worry about trying to get between the words and things like that to select it. So you want to think about those things in the free versus the paid version and see, if it's worth it to you to have the pro version just to do that. But, the paid version has its privileges, right? So even with this, I can go here. And because I'm using the frame element, then I'll go over here to my folders, logos, and I don't know, let's use a yellow one. Put that in there, right? So you can fill the different shapes with graphics, right? So all these things are kind of options as you build. But let me know if you kind of like these things. Yes, Canva is great And to be bluntly honest, it's still kind of growing on me. Um, as far as making graphics and animations, Keynote is my first love for that. Now I use a lot, and I have used a lot of the more expensive software, the more complicated software, but I really want to empower you all to use these simple graphics packages, or even, Keynote wasn't really even developed to be a video graphics application, right? But I've been able to stretch it and do some cool things with it. But being able to use these free applications to do professional level graphics, because yes, Final Cut Pro, After Effects, you can make a lower third, you can make it animated, whatever else. But I can also do that in Keynote. I can also do that in Canva, and it's free, right? So you have all those different options. All right, y'all. Let me know what else you got on your mind. Let me see if I have any old questions in here that I might have missed. Hey, Cindy, I hope that worked out for you. Hopefully, I gave you some things that can help you out. Photopea is an awesome program as a finisher to a lot of these online graphics apps, right? Because, a lot of people also use Easel. I like Easel. Trello, I've used Trello before, right? And it has some great templates. But what it doesn't do is subtract a shape from a shape, right? So then you thinking that, oh, I can't use Easel to make a custom overlay, or I can't use Canva to make a custom overlay because I can't cut these spaces out. Yes, you can. Just go ahead and make the design, make the rectangles where you want to have your cutouts at, bring it into something like Photopea, then delete it and save as a PNG file. Because also, I'm not sure, I don't want to make a mistake when in this statement, but other programs like Easel or Trello, things like that, I think most of them exporting as a PNG is an upsell or their pro version option, right? But if you forget that part, don't worry about that. Just kind of skip that option, do them in JPEGs, then bring them in a Photopea and delete the area that you don't need by using the magic wand tool, or you can draw a rectangle or you can draw a circle in Photopea and still delete those areas, right? So hopefully that's been helpful. You know what? Let me do this because my phone is buzzing. All right. Yes, I can do that. All right. So let me do this. I will add the link to the chat so you can click on the link. Don't leave. Don't leave me. Hang out. Go look at that later. All right. So, yeah, there we go. You know what? I'm going to do something while we're all here live. And this will be available. Okay, I'm going to make a statement here. So if you all are watching this on replay, it may not be valid for you, right? Because it depends on how long you wait to watch it on replay. What I am going to do because I think I have a price on that item, and what I will do is, let me do this real quick. Let me go back to full screen because I got to get behind the scenes on something. Let me do that real quick. And I can do it while I'm talking to you all. So if you have any questions, please let me know. Because I think I'm going to go in here and do something cool for y'all. So let's go there. And I am going to go in here and so instead of giving y'all a coupon for the night, I am just going to knock the price down. All right, save changes. And I want to make sure nobody's purchased it yet because I want everybody to have spent the original amount. All right, that's done. Okay. So that way you don't have to worry about it. So for the next, I don't know, 24 hours or so, I knocked off about half the price of those overlays. You guys got access to them, but over the weekend, I'm going to kick them back up to the original price. But if you're watching this late on a replay, you kind of get what you get. Okay, anyway. All right, so if you all have any more questions, let me know and we can make some more cool stuff. Now, one thing that people were asking about earlier too, and let me just do that. Let me go back to Restream and don't want to miss your questions. Okay, let me go back to Restream, and a person asked me about animations. So can I do animations? Now, yes, you can do animations. You can do animated buttons and things like that in Canva, but right now those are not options in Restream as far as animated images, right? Which makes Canva, especially the free version, a great option to use because you can do all these static type graphics, right? And you can even use different elements and things like that to build out your designs and do different cool stuff, right? I don't even know why I picked that thing, but it was just there. Right, so you can do stuff like this, right? And what's cool about it, you can change all these things to your brand colors and then export it as a JPEG if you have to because of the free version. Then just go into Photo P and magic wand out the background, right? Now you have an overlay with the flower in the corner, so to speak, all right? So let me do this. And I know I'm not using all them pieces, but I'm just gonna leave it for now. Let's do something else because I think a lot of people don't realize that you can do kind of complicated type of designs um, in the free version and not really worry about that. Oh, well, I won't be able to really use that because it's a solid design or something like that. So I'm just going to leave those like that for now and just show you kind of the power of that magic wand too, because it's so easy to use, right? So go back here. We're going to do a JPEG. We're going to skip the option that the pro users can use. And we're going to do, what is this, slide number 1. Done. Download. And so what's cool about it is that, let's call it flower. What's cool about this is that even though right here, right, I'm not going to use this part of it, but I'm using Photo P as my finisher. So, oh yeah, let me open back up Photo P. I'm using Photo P as my finisher for my design, right? So even if my design is not entirely what I want, but it's close, I can go here to Photo P. I can open up this JPEG for flower. And yes, okay, so I don't want this part, but let me magic wand out the stuff I don't want first. I'm gonna do the magic wand, and that's cool, so that's deleted. And as you see here, right, you see all those things inside the letters that I really don't want, right? So that's the kicker to it. But I'm gonna go here instead. But I'm gonna go here instead because I don't want that stuff in. It's gonna select that and delete it, right? So even if your design is not perfect, it's kind of close to what you wanted, but you're still kind of messing around with it, you can do those different things and do that, right? And I have a couple other little spots here that I missed. Yeah, I'm having some internet problems, y'all, so hang with me. I think I have a little bit up here. All right. So now if I go to File, Export as PNG, and save that. And I'm going to come back here to Restream and go back to Graphics, Overlays, add an overlay. I'm going to upload that flower PNG and show it. So there we go, right? So even as you can see here, there's a little black remnant kind of around some of the spots and things like that. But it's all kinds of stuff you can do, right? You don't always have to think about an overlay as being a rectangular hole in a background. You can do different shapes, right? You can even start off with a shape or use an icon or something in Canva, make it one color, right? Make it a different color than the background. So that's a nice contrast. Save that JPEG and then just click on the color that that icon was and delete it out. And then that'll be your window, right? You can do special shapes like that. So it's all kinds of things that you can explore with this and kind of play with, right? So you don't want to deny yourself that opportunity to do those kind of things, right? So even with this, we can even maybe use that same flower, right? So let's say I really want that flower to be my cutout. So I'll do this. So say that's going to be my cutout. And let me copy this. Oh, copy the slide. Let's see. There we go. Let's go today, please. There we go. Duplicate. And I don't want that stuff, so let's delete that. Right? So what I could do here is essentially, I could just make all the pieces white. I could basically do that. So that's one way to, right? I'm making this icon all white. So now to be easier to select when I bring it into another application, right? Like Photo P. So now I'll go here to background and let's say I do this, right? So there we go. And this can be an overlay. So I go to adjust, I blur that some, right? So this is an overlay now. This is something you can do as an overlay. Oh, you know what? I had that other old overlay on there. Let's turn that off. Got a lot of stuff going on. Okay, so this can be an overlay, right? And it's number 2. Let's download that. So you need to kind of think about these things in a whole different way now. Stop thinking about just, oh, let me cut out a rectangle or let me cut out a curved box or whatever else, right? There's a lot of different things you can do. And we're going to bring this one in and call it F2. And we'll bring this into Photo P. And I want to show you how this works as an overlay. Go back here. Delete that. All right. So now we're going to go to here. Bring it in. Delete that. We want to rasterize this now because it had that little icon that made it vector. Right, so now I select my flower. It's done. And now I can go to File, Export as PNG. Save it. So here's the cool thing, right? When you stop thinking about your designs or your overlays as basically rectangles that you're going to cut space out of, and you think about them a little bit differently, you can make crazy shapes like this, right? And the cool thing about this, in a single person layout, especially, I can go here, put in chat, right? And the overlay doesn't move because it's a single window layout, right? You can even put big comments, right? So you can stop thinking about overlays just as rectangles on a page, right? Think about different things you can use in Canva that you can use later on in your workflow to cut a shape out of a shape. So always kind of think about those things as you're going, right? So hopefully this has been helpful so far. Let me know if it's been helpful or not. And we can start exploring some more things or if anything else you want to look at, right? But especially if you have questions, I am here for that because I don't want to keep going off on tangents of things that you may not want to learn about. If y'all want to learn some more, let me know. All right. I know there's a little bit of a delay, so I don't want to bombard y'all with content right now. Cool, cool, cool. I like that. Having some fun, Marlene. Cool. And so, yeah, just kind of think about it, explore, jump into Canva because it's a huge rabbit hole, right? And there's all kinds of stuff in there you can do and just spend your whole day doing it. Don't let it get in front of you creating video content. Don't get so distracted as keeping you from doing that. But look at it in many different ways, right? Look at the different icons that you can use or a thumbs up, right? So you can use the kind of the Facebook thumbs up icon as a whole in your overlay, and it might be the segment about cool things that happened that week, right? So the thumbs up section. And so it's all kinds of cool stuff you can do. There's something else that I just thought of, because let me click on this and effects. Let me see if I can do this. See, I'm exploring right now. Oh, let me go back so you guys can see this screen. Okay, so I'm back in Canva and I clicked on effects. Oh, it only lets me crop it now. That's weird. Oh, I thought I was choosing the background. Okay, so we'll do this then. So we're going to copy this and we're going to do all the colors of this one black. I'm experimenting right now. Let's just see something. Right, so now we can scale this up some and position it backward. And because this is an odd shape, you're really not going to get a true outline. Right, that's kind of a cool look, right? So now when I go into Photo P and I delete the white one, I have the little extra outline in my overlay when I bring it into Restream. So what about background graphics? Yeah, I mean, you can make anything into a background graphic, right? I mean, because I have, let me go back here to main. And right now I have kind of a background graphic. And let's see. So now if I make my single screen smaller, the background graphic works, right? And I can make all kinds of stuff into background graphics. Yeah, so you can go into and see, that's a great substitute for an overlay. So if I go into Canva, back in Canva again, and let me make my screen full screen so we can see it all. So if I'm back here in Canva, right, and I make a cool background like this, or any other background, right? Let's do bricks here. Adjust. Okay, that's the one I wanted. And blow that up a little bit like that. And I export this and bring it into Restream, and I make my window smaller. I can do multiple windows on top of that layout, right? If I make the windows smaller than the overall screen. Now, what it won't do, like when I do a 2-window layout, if I do the double wide screen, you'll be able to see the background. If I do the half and half split side by side, the background won't show, right? So there's different ways that it will work and different things that it will allow you to use the background. But while we're here, and we got a few more minutes, let me go ahead and export this as a JPEG and show you that. So I think this is number 2. And we're just going to import the JPEG itself into Restream. We don't need to do anything special to it. Let me see, brick. We don't have to do anything special to it in Photo P for this process, this part of the process. So it's good to go. And we're going to go here to the background area of our graphics instead. And we're going to add the brick. And let's go back here. So the brick is there now. And I will make my screen smaller. There we go. So I made my screen smaller, and now you see the brick, right? And so also, let's say I add my screen share, right? And I can flip these, okay? So now you can use the background for those kind of layouts. So even here, right, this is a double split screen, so the background is not visible. But if I use it as widescreen, the background is visible. In this view, no background. But see, this is where I would use a frame overlay instead, right? Cinema view, you have it. Thumbnail view, you have it, right? So the background can be used instead of an overlay to give you different looks. Now, if I go over here to the chat and I add your comment, right? So it actually does not resize the screen, but let me go here. Nope, I don't want to do widescreen. So there we go here, right? So the comments come in that way. Picture in picture with comments, right? So here it resized, right? So if I had this as an overlay, it would resize. See here? So if I did this as an overlay and I had these holes cut out and I put the comment up, the video windows would resize and mess up my overlay. But if I'm using a background and use this lower third, the built-in lower third, the windows move, but doesn't really make a difference because I'm using a background, right? So there's no physical hole cut out of an overlay that can be skewed or that may not fill up the image anymore, right? But, so backgrounds are a great way as an option instead of overlays, right? And you can use a combo of both, right? So if I have, because the way that Restream works, and this is not exact, so excuse me for this, right? But I'm using an overlay and a background now, right? And this may even be, let's try that. See, I'm using an overlay and then you can see some of the background back there, right? So you can use one of each type of thing in your design. You can't use two overlays. You can't use two backgrounds at the same time, right? Yep, but you can definitely do that. So this is a background design that you can easily use. And like I said, there are tons of free graphics in Canva. So you can just go in Canva, make 50 slides, put a different background on each slide. I'd blur them up a little bit because I wouldn't have it just stark like that brick wall, kind of blur it a little bit to make it sit behind you. And now you have 50 backgrounds, right? That you can always kind of pull out to change the look. So those are definitely options. Cool, cool, cool. Glad it works. All right, y'all, we are rounding the last corner here. Hopefully this has been helpful for y'all. I definitely appreciate it. And I'll just kind of leave this background up for this one now. If you have any questions about anything, please let me know. Please don't forget to go use that form. So if you have questions, we can address those early on in the process. So you can visit my form here, fill out the form. If you want me to review some of your videos or review some of your graphics, I can review them live here in the broadcast and give you pointers. Kind of do even, what is that called? I don't know. Do you a new look, right? Update your look or makeover. That's the word. I can even do your video makeover here live. So send me a link to your video or screen capture, send me a link to the graphics you're using, and we can do a video makeover here live. I love to do those. And, you get some free design help, right? So that's always a plus. So you can send those to me and we can kind of work those into the process. And you can also submit your questions there early to make sure that they're addressed in the broadcast. Then obviously, again, YouTube channel, if you guys want to go check that out, it has a ton of tutorials there. I don't have a lot of Canva tutorials there yet, but I am working on those because I know the audience wants those. So I want to help out the community when I do those. Then you can go here to get the overlays that I showed you earlier today. If you like those kind of things, it's up to you. And I'll be creating more kind of Canva graphics that will be available there for you guys to purchase also, because I know people are asking more and more about the Canva things and you guys like to learn about it, but some people are saying, can I just buy it? So I want to give y'all that option too. That is not a requirement for you to come watch, because as you noticed today and every day, I show you how to make them, right? I hold nothing back. I can show you how to make anything that I have shown you. I will show you how to do that. So I do not have that problem doing that. Just here to serve you all. But thank you all for being here. We're wrapping up the hour now. Let's see. Oh, no problem at all. Thank you so much for your comment. Thank you so much for the kind words. I appreciate that. And with that, I think it is a wrap for today. So thank you all for coming out to Bradley Teaches Video Graphics for Restream Studio. And be good to yourselves. Be good to one another. Be blessed, be free, y'all. Yes, appreciate that, Eric. Thank you for the shop quote. Be blessed, be free, be good to yourselves, be good to one another. See y'all next week, 4:30 p.m. Central, right here, wherever here is for y'all. Send me a DM. Put a comment in the comment stream. I love answering your questions. I love doing tutorials. I love making things with you all. So let me know what you want to see. Drop by, fill out the form, ask your questions there because I love answering questions, as y'all can see, right? And it gives me something to do because I want to have these things on your agenda. There's a lot of stuff I can show you, but if you're not really interested in that, or if it's kind of a tangent to you, then I want to bowl down your alley. I want to emphasize that. I really want to bowl down your alley and help you do things that you are trying to do to improve your videos and your streams and help you to enhance your Restream Studio live streams or recordings, right? So drop by next week. I'll see you all then. Be good, y'all. Bye-bye. See y'all later.